Hello and welcome to Springboard Media's ActivTips. I'm Amanda Urbancic. Today we're going to take a look at hiding, blocking, grouping, and drag a copy for images or objects. So we have a picture of the frog here. When I click on the frog, I can see that the marquee handles pop up around him. To lock the frog, I'm going to click down on the Property menu. I'm going to hit Locked. The shortcut for this is Shift-Command-L on a Mac. When I go back into presentation mode and I try to click on the frog to move him, I'm not able to move him. He's locked in that location. This is really great for students if you don't want them to move something on the page. If they're adding text or images and you want the background to stay exactly where it is, you want to lock it. Now you might also want to group things together so that they're easier to move. I'm going to start over here in the background somewhere. I'm going to click and drag so that I can kind of see this light gray box coming up around all my images. And this button right here with two green squares and an outline around it is the group button. So when I select that, now the group will move together. So as I move the frog, the sound of the frog moves as well. Now because the frog is locked, I can only move it when I was in design mode. If I go back to presentation mode and I try to move it, it's not going to move. I like this sound, but maybe I don't like this icon right here. It doesn't look so good. If I want to make this icon hidden, I'm going to go back to design mode. I'm going to click on the icon. I'm going to bring up those same marquee handles. In that same menu, I'm going to click on hidden. Now it's still on the page, I just can't see it. I know it's there because when I hover my mouse over it, I can see the blue circle with a white arrow inside it, and that represents that it's a sound or action. But it's not on the page so obviously. I can also move it right behind the frog, so when I click on the frog, it makes a noise. A great thing with hiding actions is to put them behind or in front of something else that you want to make that action happen. Lastly, the fly is set up for drag a copy. So when I click on the fly and move it over, it keeps making another fly every time. I usually do this with money when I'm doing a flip chart in a presentation and people always laugh. Drag a copy is great because you can keep adding different things on. Imagine if you were doing a graph and each of the blocks at the bottom was set on drag a copy, so you can continually add them to the graph. Let's talk about some other actions that you can do for images or objects as well. Let's take a look at this fly. All these different marquee handles that pop up each choose something different. I took a screenshot and blew it up here for you. So this one's going to allow you to move the fly. This one can be helpful when you have lots of things grouped together. When you start to move them, they're grouping. This one's going to allow you to rotate an image or object. This menu right here is allowing you to see all the actions that are possible for that. And here's a copy of it. You can cut, copy, paste, or duplicate. You can delete. You can also lock it, group it, hide it, or set it up for drag a copy. If you click on transform, you can see there's some actions that you can do to make it smaller or bigger, or mirror in the X or Y axis, or flip in the X or Y axis. You can also set it up to align on the page. And the reorder button is going to allow you to bring it to the front, send it to the back, or bring it forward or backwards. You can also move it up to different layers. If you're working with Magic Ink, it can be especially helpful for you to have this move to the top layer. Some of these icons are shortcuts for that exact same menu. This is going to move it to the top, this is going to move it behind, this is going to duplicate it, make it larger, or make it smaller. The only one we've missed is this orange circle right here, and this is actually a transparency slider. So if you click on it, you can see it comes up with a gray bar to the left or right. And as I slide this over, my image becomes more and more and more transparent. So those are some of the actions that you can set up for images. You can do the same thing for shapes. You can do the same thing for shapes. You can also do the same thing for text. See how the same marquee handles come up? I can lock my text or hide it or group it to my image. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's active tip. Check out our wide range of professional development courses and workshops available for your school.